Yeah, look, Mixon hasn't been overly effective, really in the second half of the season. Like you look at some of his games, like he's getting the carries for sure, but it's not like he's gaining a lot of yards on the ground when he's getting those carries. So I'm not exactly looking at Joe Mixon at 6,800. I feel like he's a little bit overpriced. Like there's not like a clear cut RB1 that you need to put into your lineups this week. A lot of the star running backs are out. This is not exactly a team that have strong running backs. Like I'd probably go with Mitchell, even though the game script is most likely not going to be in his favor, but they love going to him, man. And they're trying to mask Jimmy Garoppolo as much as possible because guess what? He stinks. Okay. So they want to run it with Mitchell. That's why even in a game, that was as close as it was, still had 17 carries, had a handful of targets. Jimmy really can't throw at this point. And when he is throwing, it's basically going to go for a pick six at this point. So they want to avoid the pick six as much as possible. So by doing that, you go with Eli Mitchell, 5,900. I think that's the guy you roll with this week.
All right, so Matt, while you're obviously quarterbacking Jimmy Garoppolo, are you paying up for Joe Mixon then, since you got all this extra salary to burn?
Well, to be clear, I do like Matt Stafford more than Jimmy Garoppolo. I just think that game is going to go overlooked. But if you're going that route, you do have extra money to spend. And the way I see this slate breaking down is that a lot of people are going to want to play Burrow, Mahomes, and the passing games there. And Joe Mixon, as the most expensive running back, I think could be only the fourth most popular running back because he is overpriced. Like, there's no question about that. So my answer is Joe Mixon worth paying up for? No, in the sense that he's too expensive, but yes, in the sense that I think a lot of people won't do it. And at least the one selling point that Mixon has going for him that's different than the rest of the season is over the last 4 games, he's averaging 6.5 targets. So they are using him in the passing game. And I actually do think it's perfectly viable to play a Bengals stack with Joe Burrow that also has Joe Mixon in it because Mixon has become more of an important piece of the passing game over recent games.
And what the heck? Maybe Jamar Chase. Load it up, Pearce. What do you think?
No, I'm not going to go with Mixon. I get the strategy point of it. If last week was a bad running back slate, then obviously this week's going to be worse with the same teams and fewer teams to pick from. So Jerick McKinnon is where I will go back. I know Edwards-Helaire came back last week, but Ad Levitan tweeted out a comparison between the two, and McKinnon out-snapped him 53-23, ran more routes 41-11, out-touched him. Even if Edwards-Helaire is a little bit more healthy this week and gets a bigger role, we could see McKinnon still easily reach value. I don't see why they would lower his role in this matchup. Maybe Reed does. But either way, even if he's simply just the pass-catching back, that's a good matchup against Cincinnati, who are 27th against receiving running backs, allowed the 5th most receptions to receiving running backs, 6th most in yards. The AFC game is just simply where you have to target, especially for the value.